friends, let's discuss current affairs. In today's first question, we have something on the World Happiness Index. Now, this is a matter of quite controversy. We have had multiple debates across the political spectrum, across social spectrum, that we have been ranked pretty badly. In fact, we have been ranked at a lowly, I have, for the first time, I wrote something for you guys, actually, that India's rank is quite weird. In fact, we are ranked around 126, something like that. And countries above us would be like, no, the answers here. Before I discuss this whatever I wrote about the World Happiness Index, I also have the parameters listed for you. On what basis did they actually, evaluate this happiness? And, according to the UN's World Happiness Index, the most happiest country in the world is Finland. Now, I also read some weird things about Finland. As you know that I do a lot of homework. I read all these indexes and all these things. And I found that along with this, you also have to understand that the country's tax rates are very high. The government, gives a lot of benefits like, free education, free healthcare and all. But given that, tax rates are high, everything could be funded. Now, this is not a country of great aspirations that people do not, they're already rich. Most of them are rich and they don't aspire for more than what they already have. So they say that it's like contentment. We are pretty content with what we have. So Finland is the world's happiest country according to this index, followed by Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, and Israel. In the same order in which these are mentioned here, we have all these indexes, the top 5 names. Now, on what basis did they evaluate this? And then I will tell you where the other countries are ranked, especially countries that are ranked above India. Now, look at this. GDP per capita is one. This is also in purchasing power parity. Now, what is purchasing power parity? Purchasing power parity is where you convert the value of a dollar into the purchasing power of the local currency. Now, a dollar in India would buy much more than it would buy in America because the cost of living in India is much lower. So when you say the purchasing power of a dollar in India, what's the exchange rate? Something like 85 rupees today, 83 rupees. So make it 83. At 83 rupees, 83 rupees can buy a lot more in India than a dollar would buy in the United States because of the variation in the cost of living. Now, GDP per capita is you divide by total GDP by total population, you get GDP per capita. Cap here relates to head. So because the cap, you always put a cap on the head. A bottle has a cap on the head. The capital is where the head of the government, the head of the state resides. Okay. Now, social support. Social support in the sense that apart from the government support, in case of crisis, the question that was asked of people, and this is a very small sample they took for, evaluation for arriving at who's happy. One thing they asked is, do people around you, your extended family, friends, the social, the society at large, do they help you when you are in crisis? Now, this was one question, social support. Then healthy life expectancy at birth. A lot of countries, as you would know, these countries, the life expectancy is pretty high because, of course, of a great social healthcare system, and of course, high incomes, which would mean that people can access the best healthcare. Generosity. What question was asked under generosity? The question asked was, have you in the past 1 month contributed to a charity? That was a question. Have you in the last 1 month contributed money to a charity? So that based on that, countries were evaluated. Now we also have freedom to make life choices. So do people get a chance to make their own life choices? And in the last one, perceptions of corruption. Of course, corruption in the government, especially in the government, and this is at the lower end. In India, there is widespread corruption, no doubt about it. We would be living in denial if I would say that we don't have corruption. We are one of the most corrupt societies in the world. This is something that is open to you and to me. It's visible. Corruption is visible everywhere, across political spectrum, social spectrum, across the administrative spectrum. Now, these were the 6 parameters based on which happiness was evaluated. Now, these are the top 5 countries, more happiest countries. So what about the rest of the countries? I'll bring to you some numbers, my friends. The numbers go like this. Libya. Now, I'll just give you an idea of what countries you should look at. I'll put this in slight yellow because this is all white here. Libya. I'll come to these countries, why I mentioned this country. Then I have a country here called, Venezuela, 79th rank. You must have heard of Venezuela. It's in, South America. Then let's go to a country called, Palestine, 103. India is about 126. 122, 126, that stretch, a lot of countries are there. And Pakistan is ranked 108. Now, ladies and gentlemen, why I would not agree with this index? Because of, the countries that are listed above India. See, these are countries like, for example, Libya. Now, Libya's has had a civil war since the death of Muammar al-Gaddafi, who was the dictator in that country between 1969 and 2011. Since 2011, the country has had a massive civil war. There is no government in place. See, there is one government that is, that's recognized by the UN, but whose control does not extend to more than 30% of the country's area. So that's one. Now, in that kind of a country, do you think economic growth will be there? Do you think there will be social support? There is, life expectancy has gone down because the healthcare system has collapsed. Okay. Now, you look at, there is widespread corruption, extreme degree of corruption in Libya. So is the case with Venezuela. Venezuela, my friends, has had nearly 2000% inflation. The government's official rate is about 110%. But, if you look at the actual, inflation rate, it will be around 2000%. It's much more than 2000%, but I have brought it, at a lower estimate. Please understand. This is a country where nearly 3 million people, 30 lakh people have left the country to go into neighboring Colombia and elsewhere. Now, do you think that kind of a country which has had massive inflation, zero social security, widespread corruption because only a few people who are close to the ruling party, the socialist party of Nicolas Maduro, the president, that kind of a, the corruption, there is a vast degree, of a vast degree of corruption in this, basically, in this country. Now, look at Palestine. Has Palestine ever been happy? There is utter poverty, a great deal of poverty. On paper, there is a social security network, but we all know how the system works in Palestine. Look at Pakistan. Pakistan has had 40%, more than 40% inflation, rampant unemployment, yet Pakistan is ranked above India. So these kinds of, indexes are to a large extent, built by those who have pretty little understanding of how, our country works. Now, this is also, there is also a theory that is also a widespread, debate component that says that these are anti-India agencies. See, I'm not going there, but these things, I gave you hardcore data. So countries where there is great deal of economic insecurity, a great deal of violence, a great deal of, corruption, can they be happy? Especially when these are the parameters on which these countries have been evaluated. Okay. So I think you should be very careful when you look at all these parameters. A country like, Turkey, which is like, unofficially there is 160% inflation, 160%. Officially the government says it's 35%, it's 160%. Now, how can you be happy in a country like that, where there is when the country imports even basic things from outside, but everyone says that the country is happy. How is it happy, my friends? So I am not a kind of a guy who accepts these kinds of things. Okay, I go through this entire day. I went through the entire data, and I, as your teacher, as someone who's greatly interested in learning, I encourage you to learn a lot more than what's on the screen. Okay, guys. So in fact, only for the first time ever, I wrote something so that I could actually, because it's very difficult to remember all these names, I wrote Iraq 92%, 92 ranked Iran, Myanmar 118. Can you beat this? 118 ranked Myanmar. Myanmar has had a civil war between the government and the Rohingya Muslims. For ages, there has been a civil war since 2000, in the last 3 years, of course, 4 years. And more than that, there is no economic development. There is no administrative setup that works in the country. Yet, it is ranked higher than India. So, I think you just have to take these kind of indexes with a pinch of salt and dismiss them. But remember, it's also important that we don't ignore something like corruption. Corruption is widespread. It's something that's eating our, eating the social fabric of our country, bringing misery to millions of our countrymen, my friends. Yeah. That was a very elaborated, passionate discussion. So what about this? Which international space agency, as one of you mentioned that I should read the question. So I'm trying to read most of the questions, if not all of the questions. Which international agency spacecraft will carry a message in a bottle to Europa? Europa is one of the moons of Jupiter. Jupiter has 95 moons. 95 moons. Okay. So this kind of a, message in a bottle. You must have seen the message in a bottle. People throw in the river, oceans, and it lands up somewhere in the world, kind of thing. Sometimes decades later it lands up, and whatever it is. So NASA has launched is launching a spacecraft called Europa Clipper. It's called Europa Clipper. Oh, I'm sorry, Europa Clipper. So Europa Clipper is the name, and the name Europa comes from the continent Europe. Fair? Now, why Europa? See, 95 moons that the largest planet Jupiter has. I'll tell you something. I found this on the NASA website, and this is, see, all the graphics, all stuff that you have, my friends, that I would have in this PPT. Please remember, if there is a data source, I'll tell you the data source. Okay, there's nothing that we steal. We at Time are very clear about things that are not ours, and what are ours are copyrighted. What are not ours or someone else's. They would have worked hard to create something like this. So it actually belongs to them. But we have taken it for, explanatory purpose. This is a comparison between our Earth and Europa, because we have been looking for extra intelligent life or intelligent life elsewhere in the world, extraterrestrial, that is beyond the Earth. Is there intelligent life? Well, we have some evidence that, there could be something. That's what one group of scientists say. But majority of them say we haven't found any trace of them. But they say that there could be something about Europa that could, that could help us turn that into an Earth. Like what? See, if you look at the surface of the Earth, it's like, there is liquid water, salt water, ocean surface here. In Europa also, there is a liquid water subsurface. Ocean, but subsurface, below the surface. What's on the surface? You see this. This is a thin crust of ice. There is a thin crust of ice, and below that there is a saltwater ocean. So they say that this saltwater ocean, which is below the thin ice crust, could harbor life. So we have not yet gone there, but we are planning to explore this through some way. So there is hope. There is always this hope that there could be intelligent life elsewhere in the planet. We may not be the only creatures in the universe. Let's hope that things are there. But if you read Calvin and Hobbes, the characters, it's a very famous comic strip. It would tell you that the hero, who is a 6-year-old little intelligent, supremely intelligent but dumb boy, he dumb. Why I call him dumb? Because he chooses to ignore common sense. That's what he says. He says that I'm sure that there must be some intelligent life elsewhere. And why? Because he says, because they have not bothered to contact us. They have not bothered to contact us. That's why they are intelligent and we are not. That's what he says. Okay. So I think you need to appreciate the fact that someone's trying to explore. And you see, this is ISRO, our own space agency, Indian Space Research Organization, JAXA, Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, National Aerospace and Space Administration, that is NASA. This is China's National Space Agency. Roscosmos, of course, as you would know, Russia's space agency. I like this question because wherever there is a map, I always have had a great love for those questions. Now, this is a military exercise. The government of India has participated with an African country. The name of the exercise is Lamiti. What is this? Lamiti. Now, what is this country? Which country? Seychelles. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Seychelles. Okay, I guess I would need to use the red here. This group of islands here, you see this? This is Seychelles. Okay. It's a very tiny country. It's a part of Africa. You must have heard of Mauritius. This is Mauritius. You see, this is Mauritius. Okay. Here, Mauritius. Something went wrong, my friends. Yeah. Mauritius there. And we have, this is the island of Madagascar at about 110 million years back. That's about 11 crore years back. Ladies and gentlemen, Madagascar is where India was. Indian plate moved up. We are where we are. Madagascar remained where it is. Okay. Let me tell you a little more about these countries. Okay, just the capitals, because not kinds of countries you will enjoy learning about. But I have thorough fun when I learn about these countries. Let's look at a country like what is that? Seychelles. Seychelles' capital is Victoria. Its capital is Victoria. Okay. Its president is a person of Indian origin, Wavel Ramkalawan. Only in this case, I will give you the name of the president. Wavel Ramkalawan. Ramkalawan. His great-grandfather was from India. Ramkalawan. Okay, it's gone on some surface there. So Madagascar, that's Madagascar. The capital is Antananarivo. Antananarivo. And ladies and gentlemen, a little more Mozambique. This is Mozambique here in, you see in pink, light brown, whatever color you call it. I'm not greatly tuned with colors. Mozambique's capital is Maputo. The president is Felix Tshisekedi, but that's not important. Mauritius, the capital is Port Louis. Okay. Pravind Jugnauth is the prime minister there. Maldives, you all know, the prime minister is a guy named, the president is a guy named Mohammed Muizzu. Sometimes it's, we kind of get lost in these things. Anyway, if you are greatly interested, I suggest you find out a little more about this place called, the Gulf of Guinea. This is a great place to know about. Okay. This is one of my favorite areas in the world. I try to learn about these countries here. Cameroon, Gabon here. This is Gabon, Cameroon. You have Ivory Coast or Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, Benin, all these countries. These are some of my favorite places to learn about. Yeah. So from there, we could go to, yes, our Sheetal Devi. She, as you know, okay, this is Sheetal Devi, my friends. She's a para-archer. She has just been appointed by the Election Commission of India as its national icon to spread voter awareness and get people to vote. This is, she won multiple awards at the para, Olympics and all, para Asian Games, para Olympics and all that. So, Sheetal Devi there, my friends, para archer, we said. And Election Commission of India is the body that conducts elections to the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha, that's the two houses of the parliament, the two houses of state legislatures, plus the president's office and the vice president's office. These are the things to which, bodies to which it conducts elections. Fair, guys? Which city is hosting the Startup Mahakumbh? Well, of course, the answer is there, New Delhi. The theme of Startup Mahakumbh 2024 is Bharat Innovates. Bharat Innovates. Yeah, India is home to a lot of startups. Some of the world's best startups are in India. But as you would find that for every one success story, there are over 100 failures. But that doesn't matter. Yeah, we are doing well. And of course, now the Startup Mahakumbh is taking place in New Delhi. So, see, the government is encouraging companies to come up with what we say, better products, better services, which could be turned into viable businesses. This is Sheetal Devi. This is what's her name? Dipti Sharma. Yeah, and she won the Royal Challenge. She belongs to not to Royal Challengers Bangalore, not to Delhi Capitals, but she belongs to UP Warriors. And why is she here, even though she's not related to the question? So, ladies and gentlemen, the Women's Premier League, the second Women's Premier League was won by RCB, Royal Challengers Bangalore, the Women's IPL it's called, yeah. Women's Premier League was won by RCB, defeating, if I'm not wrong, Delhi Capitals in the final. Now, the thing here is, Dipti Sharma was named player of the tournament, player of the series, and she belongs to UP Warriors. Dipti Sharma, UP Warriors. Yeah. She's also the most expensive player. They UP Warriors paid about 2.6 crore to sign her up, basically. Okay. So that's a bit about, see, it all matters if you are talented, but it matters to big talent, to become talented. One needs to have a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of passion, a lot of curiosity, a lot of capacity for working hard. Okay. Which I'm sure that most of you are, and you're hardworking. I'm sure that you are quite passionate about building a better future for yourself. But please keep at it. That is, you don't give up, even if you fail once or twice. Failure is a normal part of life, my friends. See, the men's team, Royal Challengers Bangalore men's team, has never won the IPL, but they try hard. That's the most important thing. Okay. Well, we end the sports-based question. Of course, now this time we are discussing badminton, and this is about the All England Badminton Championship, which is the Wimbledon of badminton. This is the #1 tournament in the world of badminton. Ladies and gentlemen, this is also the oldest tournament in badminton. It's the oldest tournament. I think it started in 1899. 1899. So, a bit about this. Who won it? This time, the men's singles title was won by Jonathan Christie, and of course, Carolina Marin won it. Jonathan Christie belongs to Indonesia. He belongs to Indonesia. Marin belongs to Spain. So, who did they defeat? These guys. Runners-up. Okay? Both were runners-up. Anthony Ginting, Indonesia. Again, Indonesia, both are Indonesia. Basically, these I'm talking of these two guys. Akane Yamaguchi, runner-up, she belongs to Japan. Japan. What about the men's winners? I'm just going to talk about winners. Here we talked about the runners-up also, men's and singles tournaments. But let's look at the men's doubles winners. Men's double, I put the choices like this. These are two who won the men's doubles. Muhammad Rian Adrianto and Fazar Alfian of Indonesia. Both of them belong to Indonesia. Okay, these two belong to Indonesia. I'll put only an I here. And the women's doubles tournament was won by Baek Ha-na and Lee So-hee of South Korea. Okay, only winners. I guess we got some good stuff there. Okay, to repeat, my friends, the winners here. Winner, Christie belongs to Indonesia. Spain is where Marin comes from. And the runners-up in this tournament, basically, you have Anthony Ginting and Akane Yamaguchi. Both of them lost in the finals, and the Indonesian final was won by, the Indonesian Anthony Ginting was lost to Christie, Yamaguchi lost to Marin. Okay, coming to Adrianto, the men's doubles winners, Ardianto and Alfian. Winners, the women's doubles winners, Hana and Sohee. Okay, that's about it. So let's go to the next one. Vladimir Putin. Okay, let me clear this, ladies and gentlemen, and let's come to this. Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin won the presidential election, the Russian presidential election, has won it for the 5th time, my friends. And this is not a picture of Vladimir Putin. So I guess, Vladimir Putin is I kind of figure that everyone around the world knows, at least someone who is a little educated would know. This is Joseph Stalin. This Joseph Stalin is a guy who ruled, Soviet Russia, the USSR, or Soviet Russia, as it called. Let me give you the full form of USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. This country existed between 1922 and 1991. 1922 and 1991. In this time, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, please note that in this time, he ruled this country between 1924, why did it go that way? 1924 and 1953. So, 100 years back, he became the ruler of Soviet Russia, and, of course, almost 30 years later, he died. That's when he actually, he left the leadership thing. He was evil, my friends. Joseph Stalin was evil. How evil was he? Well, in the 30 years he ruled, starting 1924, ladies and gentlemen, please note that he kind of is said to have killed about anywhere between 70 lakh to, now higher estimates go to 1.5 crore people. Now, there are some estimates that say 2 crore people died during his rule. I will not go there. Okay. This estimates is the lower end, 70 lakh people died during, and these are all, most of them were political victims. People who he didn't like, who he thought opposed the, the ruling party or opposed him, basically. And the higher estimate, conservative higher estimate is 1.5 crore. So, the man was evil beyond, what we say, words. Now, why doesn't the West, why doesn't the West rate him as evil as he was? Because during the Second World War, he ruled Soviet Russia, and he stood on the, on the side of the Americans, the Brits. Okay, and that's why the Americans and the Brits, shook hands with him, and they were okay. They were quite okay with him killing his domestic rivals, as long as he supported them on the international stage. Okay. After Stalin died, Nikita Khrushchev became the ruler. There was one person in between, but now Boris Yeltsin was the first president of Russia. Russia, see, I told you that USSR collapsed in 1991. When USSR collapsed in 1991, the 15 provinces in that country became 15 independent countries. Remember, 15 provinces, 15 states in the USSR became 15 independent countries. So you have Georgia, Belarus, Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, Georgia, Moldova, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Russia. These were all, my ladies and gentlemen, these were all provinces in the USSR. Today they are independent countries. So he became the first president of Russia after it became independent in 1991. Medvedev is a former president and former prime minister of Russia. He's a great, he is a right-hand man of Vladimir Putin. Okay. And Mikhail Gorbachev was the last president of USSR. He's quite famous in the West as a liberal, someone who kind of, opened up Soviet Union. But of course, the Soviets at that time hated him. As per the United Nations report, 2024, what report? Gender Equality Index. Now we are ranked 108. This says that, we have been ranked out, not 193 countries, my friends, not 193 countries. We are not ranked in 193 countries. Please understand, 193 countries is for is for Human Development Index, but the Gender Inequality Index, and I went through this index as well, it ranks 166 countries. It ranks 166 countries. India ranks 108. Yeah, the year before we were ranked 122nd, 122. Now we are 108. So according to them, the gender equality is, we are moving towards that. But when it comes to a country like Yemen, it's ranked the world's most gender unequal country. Okay, gender unequal, not unequal, unequal country. So last ranked 166. Fair. Again, lot of choices were given. There are 3 parameters: women empowerment, labor choices, and all that stuff. So India's rank is 108. And the highest ranked country is, if I'm not wrong, Iceland. Yeah, Denmark. World number 1, Denmark. The most gender equal country in the world. See, they ranked 0 to 1. 1 was most unequal, 0 was most equal. Denmark was 0.09, which is very good. Almost equal. Almost equal. Okay. That's a bit about it. So not a country for women. Yemen is not a country for women, my friends. Yeah, it's the most gender unequal country in the world. See, again, these are all subjective, my friends. And who are they interviewing? Who are they, who are they, I would say, who are they, what sample size do they take? What section of the society do they cater to? Okay, there we go. Global Recycling Day. This is a day where, awareness is spread across about, why it's important to recycle stuff, and of course, promote things that would preserve our nature, biodiversity, and the environment. So March 18th is when it is celebrated. The Global Bureau of, it's called the Bureau of Recycling. Bureau of Recycling. This is based in Amsterdam. What is it? Amsterdam. Where is Amsterdam? It's the capital of Netherlands. It's the capital of Netherlands. Okay, let's look at some of this, the days. I'm not really greatly interested in this particular organization. March 22nd, World Water Day. World Water Day. Water Day. March 22nd. March 22nd is World Water Day. 21st. March 21st, if I'm not wrong, is World Forestry Day. I think it's a World Forestry Day, if I'm not wrong. March 20th is International Day of Happiness. International Day of Happiness. I could be incorrect here. I'm not greatly familiar with these things, and I don't remember actually, though I have read this. This March 15th is World Consumer Rights Day. Consumer Rights Day. In the course of my talk, further talk, in the remaining talk, if I come across what I believe this was incorrect, I'll correct myself. Okay. Somewhere, I know in the back of my mind, it would work that, I have given wrong information. I could have given wrong information. So, March 21st and March 20th, I'll come back to in a while, my friends. Okay. So, from here, let's go to the next one. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has announced the formation of an expert committee under who? V.K. Paul. Okay. To review the implementation of the performance of the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So, this is a logo. You see, this is a nice logo. Actually, a very nice logo. Fair. So, what is this scheme about? This scheme talks about, see, ladies and gentlemen, Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is a Government of India scheme. It's the world's largest government, or what is called a public, national health insurance scheme. Okay. So, this provides 5 lakh rupees per family, 5 lakh rupees health cover per family per annum. Per family per annum. Per annum. No restrictions, my friends. Number of family members, nothing, no restriction. Per family, per annum, 5 lakh rupees insurance, healthcare insurance cover is provided. Okay. So remember, 3 days pre-hospitalization and 15 days of post-hospitalization care is also budgeted in this. So there's a lot of, see, this is provided to those who don't earn much. This is about low income earners. And going by that, nearly 50 crore people in India, this is the objective of this scheme. 50 crore people in India have access to this scheme. 50 crore people can avail of the benefits of this scheme. And it is also, ladies and gentlemen, one more thing. This is also a centrally sponsored scheme. A centrally sponsored scheme is one that, where part of the funds, most of 50% of the funds are provided by the central government and the rest are provided by the state government. Sometimes it is 60-40. But usually it is 50-50. Okay. Central sector scheme is where the entire fund is provided by the government. Okay. But centrally sponsored, provided by the central government. Central sector scheme is complete money is provided by, the fund is provided by the central government. When it comes to, centrally sponsored schemes, part of the fund, most of the fund is provided by the central government. Okay. But it's a partnership with the state and central government. So let's go past this and let's look at, I think I need to clear this, ladies and gentlemen. Again, migration. Now, migrations is about people moving from their homeland, from the place they were born in, they were native to another place. Now, this could be for political reasons, economic reasons, religious reasons, for whatever reasons. But people move. People move all the time, my friends. Yeah. And, millions of people, try to move to Europe every year because they have a lot liberal, they are a lot liberal when it comes to accepting migrants in their country, giving them asylum for whatever reasons. So European Union is trying to control the migration of Africans and else, people coming from, Afghanistan, Syria, or what you call the West Asian countries here, to Europe. So they are giving some money to these countries. You hold these migrants back in your country. Don't let them come to our place, basically. So Egypt has been given $8 billion aid to set up camps, healthcare stuff and all that, so that migrants don't leave this and are not allowed to come into Europe, my friends. Okay. So this is Egypt, my friends. You see straight line boundary. This is Libya, the Libya that we discussed a while ago. Now this country, the country's capital is Libya, Tripoli. Just about this area is controlled by the government. This entire area is controlled by the rebels. So it's a country deep in trouble, my friends. Okay. This is the biggest country in Africa, Algeria. Okay. Algeria's capital is, this is Algiers. Okay, let me write here. Algiers. Algiers, Morocco. This is Morocco, the westernmost country in Africa. This is in North Africa. This is, the capital is Rabat, R-A-B-A-T. Libya, Tripoli. Tunisia, Tunis. This is the northernmost country in, Africa. Okay, guys. Egypt's capital is Cairo, K-C-I-R-O, Cairo, or people also call it Kahira. What is it? Kahira. This is Egypt. Part of this, you see, this area is called the Sinai Peninsula. This is called the Sinai Peninsula. This area. This has a boundary with Egypt. This has a boundary with Israel. This is Israel, and this is where Gaza is. This is Gaza. Gaza's southeast border is with Egypt. The Egyptians are not willing to open their boundary for the Gazans because they believe the Gazans are disruptive. Wherever the Gazans go, they bring misery to the locals. That I think people of Jordan will attest. Jordan will agree with this because Jordans had given asylum to millions of Palestinians, but the Palestinians at any point are deeply unhappy with the Jordanians, and they always are involved in riots, some kind of insurgency or whatever in Jordan, basically. So this, in fact, the president of the father of the current ruler of Jordan was the one who launched a military attack against a particular Palestinian camp where 20,000 Palestinians were killed because they were all involved in throwing out, this president, Hafez al-Assad. Okay, he's dead. Hafez al-Assad. He's not sorry, Assad. I'm so sorry. We are talking about Jordan. So the current king's father, the current king is Abdullah II. His father sent army to Palestinian camps, and nearly 21,000 Palestinians were killed because they wanted to replace Jordanian monarchy with an Islamic state. Okay, now who led that military campaign against the Palestinians? A Pakistani general named General Zia-ul Haq. What is his name? Pakistan military guy called General Zia-ul Haq. And Zia-ul Haq later became the president of Pakistan between 1977 and 1987. And he is the guy who Islamized the Pakistani army. And he brought, of course, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of, misery to the Pakistanis. But then, and these are people who always talk about the rights of Palestinians, yeah. But he also is the guy who killed Palestinians. Again, another military exercise. Now, this is about humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercise. This is named Tiger Triumph. What is it? Tiger Triumph. And this we had with the US. With France, we have had a military exercise named naval exercise. Let's look at naval exercises. With France, the naval exercise is called Varuna. US, okay. Saudi Arabia, Sada Tanseek. Sada Tanseek. We had this exercise a few days back. Russia, Indra. These are all naval exercises. UK, Konkan. The exercise, Konkan. Okay. So, everyone wants to have a military exercise with the Indian Navy because our Navy is one of the world's best when it comes to, not just donning the traditional role of protection of the coast and all. It's also a very major player in disaster relief, especially in the Indian Ocean region. Okay. So, the first, independent India's first naval headquarters, Nausena Bhavan. In fact, this is the first time because the first time, till now, the naval headquarters were in a British built building. Now we are going into our own built new Nausena Bhavan in New Delhi. Who is the guy who runs, who is the head of the Indian Navy? Admiral R. Hari Kumar. Admiral R. Hari Kumar. Okay. So, I guess that's about it. And one more thing. Who is the Chief of Indian Defence Staff? Chief of Defence Staff is General Anil Chauhan. General Anil Chauhan. Because you would be able to spell on your own. I'm not giving you the full names. Okay. Who has been given additional charge? Recently, the Telangana governor, Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan, had resigned because the BJP, the Bharatiya Janata Party, to which she belongs, wants her to contest Lok Sabha elections. And ladies and gentlemen, she has resigned, and the additional charge has been given to C.P. Radhakrishnan. Okay. Now, what about these guys? What are these choices about? Arif Muhammad Khan is a governor of Kerala. He's a governor of Kerala. Okay. What about Bandaru Dattatreya? Haryana. He is the governor of Haryana. Gulab Chand Kataria, Assam. He is the governor of Assam. S. Abdul Nazir, Andhra Pradesh governor. Okay. I guess we got there. All of these choices here, my friends. Okay. So let's clear this now. In March 2024, which state's forest department has forged an interstate agreement to protect wildlife habitats and prevent man-animal conflict. Now, because population is exploding, people are moving into wildlife areas. I mean, population is expanding, settlements are expanding. So we are encroaching on forest lands and all that. So this also has led to animal-man conflict. And ladies and gentlemen, please understand that three states have now come together to do something to avoid these kinds of unnecessary conflict between the humans and other animal species. We are also animals, of course. Yeah, these states. Now we are talking of national parks and everything. So why don't we look at some national parks? Kerala, what national park would you have? Silent Valley. What is it called? Silent Valley National Park. Bandipur, you would find in Karnataka. Bandipur Tiger Reserve. Okay, so Bandipur. I'm just giving you the names of famous ones. Tamil Nadu, Mudumalai. What is it? Mudumalai. Mudumalai is the second oldest national park in India. Second oldest national park in India. The oldest is Corbett National Park. Okay. That park came in 1936. India's oldest national park is Jim Corbett National Park, which is in Uttarakhand. And ladies and gentlemen, it was set up in 1936. This is India's second oldest national park, and this is in Tamil Nadu. Okay. What national park would you put in Andhra Pradesh? Papikonda. Papikonda National Park. There are plenty of these national parks in India. Okay. So I think we'll just stick to a few here, not all. There's no harm in, see, if you look at Goa's Molam. What is it? M-O-L-E-M. Molam National Park. But I just want to stick to only now. I already given you extra stuff because I said that we are going to discuss, we'll stick to only this. Then I looked at Goa and I gave you about Goa. Okay. So, let's clear this. The Gas Authority of India Limited. The Gas Authority of India Limited is a public sector entity, my friends. It's a Maharatna, sorry. And it has recently set up India's first small-scale liquefied, natural gas unit at Vijaypur in where? In which place? Madhya Pradesh. And that's an investment of 150 crores. Small investment, but it will expand. Okay. It will only expand. Who is the CEO of, chairperson and MD of GAIL, G-A-I-L? It is Sandeep Kumar Gupta. Sandeep Kumar Gupta. Sandeep Kumar Gupta. Okay. So, this Maharatna, Sandeep Kumar Gupta, and from there, let's go to choice, not the choices. Yeah, the Indian Army has established a specialized technology unit named STEAG. What is that? Signals Technology Evaluation and Adaptation Group. This is our future warfare, because in the future, communications is going to be the thing, my friends. How we communicate, what tools we use to communicate, what kinds of equipment can we interpret to better communicate. So this particular group, STEAG and all that, new unit will focus on machine learning, artificial intelligence, 6G and all that stuff. So currently we are in 5G. So they are going to look at all future communications technologies to, turn the Indian Army into one of the world's best fighting forces. Okay. And who is the chief of the Indian Army? General Manoj Pandey. General Manoj Pandey. You could write this. General Manoj Pandey is the chief of the Indian Army. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been bestowed with Bhutan's highest civilian award, which is called the Druk Gyalpo, Order of the Druk Gyalpo. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the ruler of Bhutan. His name is Jigme Khesar Namgyal Wangchuk. Namgyal Wangchuk. Okay. He's a king. He is Western educated and he abolished absolute monarchy in this country to bring in line with constitutional monarchy and a parliamentary democracy. Okay. So this is the king there. What about look at only monarchies. Any monarchy here? Yeah, only Thailand. The king here is Mahavajira Longkorn. Mahavajira Longkorn. There is one name, okay. Mahavajira Longkorn. Mahavajira Longkorn. So, I guess that's about it, my friends. Indonesia, Malaysia, Nepal and all that. Nepal earlier was a monarchy. Now it's of course a parliamentary democracy. Where I think we'll stick to some basic stuff. How big is Bhutan? 38,000 square kilometers big. That's it. Population is about 8 lakhs. It is 7.7 lakhs. I'm making it 8 lakhs. Okay. Just less than 8 lakh. This is as big as the state of Kerala, which is the same area. But Kerala's population is 3.3 crore and here Bhutan's population is less than 8 lakhs. Simon Harris, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the youngest Prime Minister of Ireland. Now, in Ireland, they don't say Prime Minister. They use a title called, I'll use red color here, Taoiseach. They use the title of Taoiseach. That's the name of that's the office of the Prime Minister, Taoiseach. Okay, this is the Republic of Ireland. Why is it a republic? And Britain is not a republic because in the Republic of Ireland, the head of the state is an elected representative, while in the United Kingdom, the head of the state is a monarch, and the monarch is not elected, my friends. Okay, so this is the United Kingdom. This is Northern Ireland. This is the United Kingdom. This is the island of Britain. This island is called the island of Britain. It's called Great Britain. This is Great Britain. Great Britain plus Northern Ireland is UK. Plus, of course, it also includes a lot of the small islands that UK has elsewhere in the world, including these tiny islands here. Okay, Isle of Man and all that stuff. Fair. Now, who is Simon Harris going to replace? He is going to replace. A person of Indian origin, Leo Varadkar. He was born there, but I think his mom or dad was born in Goa. Okay, Leo Varadkar. Where? Greece, I think the Greek Prime Minister was in India. His name is Kyriakos Mitsotakis. Kyriakos Mitsotakis. Okay. Yeah. So, let's clear this now. Okay. This particular deal, you see AUKUS. AUKUS is Australia. A for Australia. UK for United Kingdom. US for United States. So, 3 countries came together to strike a deal through which the US and the UK will supply nuclear technology, submarine technology, and will build these submarines for Australia. Now, this is a very controversial deal. Remember this. Australia had a deal with France. Australia had a deal with France for about $6 billion something to build some submarines and all. But this particular deal came in, and Australia called off the deal with France, and France called the Brits and the Americans as friends who stabbed them in the back. Trust me, these are the words they use. It was a stab in the back. That's what France called the United States in this particular deal. Okay, because the money went away from France into the hands of the United Kingdom and the US. So the Australians are now given this deal. And this deal is about diesel nuclear submarines, which is not as good as what the French were promising them. But this is geopolitics, my friends. And so countries work in their own interest, my friends. Okay. So, I guess, and yeah, who is the Prime Minister of Australia? Anthony Albanese. Anthony Albanese. That's the way it's pronounced. His name is pronounced. Anthony Albanese. Okay. So, I guess that's about it. Fair? Canada's Prime Minister is Justin Trudeau. Very infamous in India. Justin Trudeau. Okay. Let's clear this all. To which nation has India announced, Prime Minister, India's PM, Narendra Modi announced India's commitment to spend, to provide support of 10,000 crore over the next 5 years. Bhutan, we are giving away 10,000 crore, of course, in our own national interest to Bhutan. Yeah, support will be in multiple ways, credit and everything else. Bhutan's Prime Minister is sharing Tobke. Okay, let me write in full. Because it's not a name that most of you would be familiar. The Prime Minister of Bhutan is sharing Tobge. Okay, yeah. Nepal's Prime Minister is Pushpa Kamal Dahal. Pushpa Kamal Dahal. I think that should be fine, my friends. Okay. Name the operation recently launched by Government of India to evacuate our citizens from Haiti. We discussed Haiti last week, and I think, it's a country that has no government in place now after the Prime Minister Ariel Henry resigned. It's in great violence. It's seeing great violence between mafias, gangs, and, rival forces. And nobody is willing to take control of Haiti. So we are moving our people in Haiti to the next, country. See, this island, let's say, is like this. This is Haiti, and this is Dominican Republic. So we are moving our people from Haiti to Dominican Republic. Okay, yeah, that's, and the operation is called Indravati. Operation Indravati. Okay, so those is the name of the operation we have had. Where, in Syria and Turkey, after these two countries suffered a massive earthquake, we sent military, we sent aid, food aid, and, all that stuff. Okay. Let's clear this. Okay. With which nation is India holding its first foreign office consultations in its national capital, Nouakchott? Nouakchott is here. Nouakchott is here in Mauritania. Okay, Mauritania. Mauritania is a very large country. As you can see, this is all, Sahara, and except for this part, this country is completely desert. It's in the Sahara. This is all Sahara desert. Okay, this is a 10 lakh square kilometer country. It's not a small country. It's a very big country, but its population is very small. It's about 43 lakh people. 43 lakh people live in this country, and nearly 3/4 of the country's population is here in this area. Okay. We want to open. We are setting up a new office there. We don't have much of relations here. We have pretty good relations with these countries here, but not here. So we are building relationships with these countries as well. Okay. I think they're all M countries. We discussed all of these countries a while ago, so we'll not go there. Okay. These countries are seeing great violence, my friends. Mali, Niger, Mauritania, especially Mali and Niger. There are multiple terrorist attacks in these countries. Okay. A while ago, I had mentioned that I am not very sure what I had mentioned about those days, but March 20th, if I had not given you the right information, it is the International Day of Happiness. I remember it has International Day of Happiness. March 20th, International Day of Happiness. Okay. March 21st is World Poetry Day. What is it? World Poetry Day. So March 21st is World Poetry Day. March 20th is International Day of Happiness. Okay. It's also the International Day of Sparrows. So it's 2 days. Two important things. March 20th, International Day of Sparrows, and International Day of Happiness. Okay. Oh, that's all about this week's general knowledge. Thank you for being here.